Cantando alegremente, Queen, quando uma reca sorridente pediu pra entrar também no samba, no samba, no samba, o caço.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Sips and Notes. Here we have Karuna Shinso with us, and Shinsho, and she is going to give us a little more information about her latest album, which has been nominated for a WAMMIE Award in Washington, D.C., and that award ceremony takes place on tomorrow. So exciting. And my name's Trace here with you with Sips and Notes. I just want to let you all know the drink for tonight is going to be the Lemonade Stand by Behringer Wines. I think it's pretty cool because it's a refreshing drink. They have different flavors. They have rosé. This one's the Moscato version, but it's very light and refreshing for the summertime. I'm not going to be drinking that tonight. I'm going to be drinking water. I'm still getting better from being sick for a very long time. So water is my main drink and my favorite drink. Karuna, what is your favorite drink?
Oh, well, hi, Treese. I think tonight it's also the same for me as well, water. My bottle had some lemon pictures on it. I like lemon too. So unfortunately, I don't have lemon in mine tonight. But
right.
Lemon water, my favorite drink.
I really love lemon too. It's so good. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about you are a jazz artist and you are a singer specifically. And so what inspired your journey into the world of music, into that art form?
Well, it's been a long journey. I grew up surrounded by music, actually. My father was a classical music DJ and a singer. My mother was a scholar of the drama and performing arts. So art, music, I was surrounded by growing up. But it wasn't until much later in life that I got into it after a long career as a broadcast journalist. And then I got married, had 2 kids, and then I got divorced. And then during that time, really tough time for me. And, I was trying to find myself again, basically, and try to find what brought me joy. And I found that music was something that brought me joy, and it helped me to heal at that time. And so I started to study jazz. And then through that journey, I met my producer, Nani Assis, who saw my passion in the music. And one thing led to another, and he agreed to produce my album. It took a few years to get to this point, but released it last year. And now we're here talking about it being nominated as Best Jazz Album of the Year at the WAMMIEs this year.
Wow, what an amazing journey. I know that it's probably very, very exciting to have actually put a dream into fruition, and then from there see now that you are transitioning to an award, which is major for the area that you're in, as that particular award ceremony features area artists within the Washington, D.C. area. So that's amazing. Congratulations for that accomplishment.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was a huge surprise. I guess what made it really special also was that the first round of voting is done by basically the general public. So They vote, and then they whittled it down to 8 finalists in the genre for jazz, best jazz album. And then the second round voting, they're going to have music industry professionals, whether it be record labels or radio DJs, professionals who vote on it. And then tomorrow, as you said, is the awards show, and we'll find out who wins. But there are other genres of music, of course. But
wow, that is amazing. That's amazing. To even go through that, just starting out, having this your first album, correct?
That's right. So my album came out last summer, and to get to this point where it's being recognized as potentially best jazz album of the year was a huge honor. But I have to say, it's I'm still at the stage of studying. I think being a musician, being an artist, you've never arrived. You're always going to be constantly learning. And so for me, I'm still studying jazz piano. I'm studying bossa nova guitar, as well as studying with my vocal instructor to just, there's so much to learn. But I think coming to jazz late in life, I think one of the pros is that I've lived, life and experienced a lot of things, including, falling in love and having my heart broken. And so I think in many ways, I'm able to infuse my experiences and, those emotions into my songs. And I hope that when people listen to my music, they can connect to it and feel that it's really coming from a very genuine and authentic place.
Awesome. I love it. And speaking of that, can you give us more about your album, To Love Again? I heard you say that, going from a place of having your heart broken and then back to love, is that the basis of what inspired that album? Or is it the more behind each song selected for your album?
Right. So as you mentioned, the title of the album is called To Love Again. And initially I chose that title because at that time I was healing from, my marriage falling apart and becoming a single mom of 2 boys all of a sudden. And so for me, it was initially about finding, the hope of romantic love again. But interestingly, the album was produced during the pandemic. And I think the past few years, we've really had, a lot of difficulties for people going through the pandemic, as well as, the political differences that we've been having in our country and also around the world, where just, people really weren't really getting along. And so I felt that To Love Again also took on the meaning of, more of people being able to love each other again, because I felt that was lacking. And also, most importantly, I wanted people to be able to love themselves again, because I think without loving yourself, you're unable to love other people. And for me, I think when I was going through that difficult period of time where I had lost my self-confidence, I guess it's hard to love yourself, when you're don't have a high opinion of yourself and you think that maybe there's something wrong with me and that's why, my marriage didn't work out. But I think that, it's really important to be able to love yourself again. So my album has 10 songs. Half of the songs are jazz standards from the Great American Songbook. And then the other half are bossa nova classics, Brazilian bossa nova classics. And what's interesting also about the album is that I sing in 3 different languages, English, Portuguese, and Japanese as well, because Japanese cultural heritage. My parents are originally from Japan. So my producer, Nani Assis, was great because he really pushed me in so many ways on the album. And one of the ways was to encourage me to write lyrics. And I wrote Japanese lyrics to 2 of the songs on the album. So it's a really interesting album in terms of the different languages, the different types of songs and arrangements, and yeah, people can enjoy it when they listen to it.
Oh, awesome. I did notice how, as I listened to your album, I did hear those different languages. So I think that's amazing to be able to bring different languages into your art the way that you did. And it sounds amazing. It sounds very good. Which song do you feel the most accomplished by, or maybe it's just your favorite song to perform from your album?
Yeah, I think, well, the fact that those 10 particular songs made it to the album, really all of them have, special significance. But I would say the song by Ivan Lins, the Brazilian composer Ivan Lins, called, I'm having a senior moment right now, but Love Dance. Sorry, Love Dance, because there's so many love in each song, so they all kind of start to meld together. But Love Dance, that was a really one of the songs that I've loved for a long time. I actually fell in love with it after I saw the late great jazz singer Carmen McRae sing it. It was a video of her singing it in Japan, actually, which was interesting. And it's just a beautiful song about, after your heart being broken, that you can still have hope to find love again. And I think the way that I sang it on my album is sort of inspired by Carmen McRae's version. It's a very slow ballad. Actually, it's about over 7 minutes long, which is kind of rare for, a single, because most people don't want to listen to a song for 7 minutes. Their attention span is pretty short. But it was arranged by a New York-based pianist, Pete Levin, and he also plays the piano. It is so beautiful. And so it doesn't matter if it's 7 minutes. It's just a really beautiful ballad. So, I hope when people hear that, they understand where it came from.
Absolutely. And like you said, music is a way of healing and a way of expressing yourself. And I think what better way than what you described that inspired you for your album to love again than those items, especially, when your heart is broken. It is difficult to bounce back and want to be open to that stance of, hey, should I love? Is love a part of my life? Is that something that I should take on again? Or should I risk the heartache that love can sometimes bring? So to be able to express that through music, I think that's amazing. And I definitely see, after listening and hearing you, why, your album was nominated for the WAMMIE Awards, because it touches people's lives for what people are really going through in real life, especially with the pandemic. That's a whole different type of heartbreak for some. So really, really inspired to listen to your album more. I listened to it when I was reading because it really helped me to focus in while I was reading, but it was relaxing to defuse from the day of work. So really enjoyed what I heard so far. Now, what will this award mean to you? I know you're nominated for it, but just being nominated, and if you were to win, what does that mean to you?
Well, like you said, just being nominated is honor enough. I mean, I was just kind of shocked that, I made it to the top 8. I just came out with the album last year. So in that sense, even just being nominated is just makes me really happy. But and then winning would just be icing on the cake, so to speak. So I think just being nominated already, it's a recognition of the work that I put into the album with the help of my producer and all the musicians on the album. I came out of nowhere. And I think that I was fortunate to have people that believed in me, my producer, and I have some world-class musicians on the album, and they really didn't have to be on the album if they didn't want to, but I think they all, I guess, saw something in me, a potential, and I also think that they saw the passion that I had for the music, and so they took a chance and collaborated with me on this album, and I think we got to create something really beautiful. And like you said earlier, I've also heard from people who've listened to the album, and a lot of them say that it just makes them feel happy or relaxed. They're really stressed out normally, and so that is just the biggest honor for me, is that when people listen to it, that they feel good, they feel happy. Because at the end of the day, that's all we want to be able to do, is to be happy. And if I can do that with something that I love to do, and I can share that joy with others, I mean, that's just a dream come true.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely amazing. And those listening, if you just jumped in, and I didn't explain it, but the WAMMIE Awards stands for and correct me if I'm wrong, Karuna, Washington Area Music Association Awards. And it is within the Washington, D.C., Maryland, is it Virginia?
Virginia, correct. Yes.
DC, Maryland, Virginia area.
Kind of like a local version of the Grammys, and they basically every year recognize up and coming artists from the 3 regions. So yes, it's
amazing, because it's been going on for over 35 years.
Correct.
So super accomplishment. Super accomplishment. I heard on your album, I think you talked about it, there was a song towards the end. Let me find that song. I'll say that was my favorite song.
Was it Smile or
Smile? That was my favorite song.
That song is really interesting because, of course, it's originally by Charlie Chaplin, and everyone knows it. It's very famous, and that's the first single that came out of the album last year, and it was, the right time, obviously, because during the pandemic, it was such a difficult time for a lot of people, and I think it really helped lift people's spirits. But the arrangement of that song is really special too, because it's kind of, actually, it's different from the jazz standards, and it's definitely not bossa nova. It's kind of, my producer wanted the arrangement to be more like R&B, sort of D'Angelo type of feel in terms of the rhythm, the beat. And so, yeah, it's, I think the arrangement was kind of followed that requirement, and I think it worked out really well.
Yeah, it did. It was a when I listened to it, I was like, oh, I really love this. I like how it sounds. And then my second favorite was the one that I played when we opened up. I really loved that one.
Yes.
Yes. It's so relaxing, and mostly relaxing for me in my world right now. But it, like, each song, it doesn't remind you of to love again, I'm suffering and heartache, but to love again and embracing it and being happy. And that's what I like about your album.
Thank you. Well, that basically was the sort of thrust of that album, was really to show that the hope after your heart is broken, the hope that people can get along, and the hope that you can also love yourself as well. And I think basically that was the main thing about this album, is that to be able to really bring people together, connect people, because music has a way of healing, and able to bring people together, because we all as humans experience the same things. We
Yeah.
experience the same joys, we experience the same suffering. And I think if we can't empathize with each other and think of each other in that way, then I don't know where the world is going to go to, right? So
Right.
we really need to get together and support each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to shift a little bit into a little quick game. I'm going to call it This or That.
Thank
And
goodness drinking water.
yeah. And these choices are going to be similar choices, but you have to choose only one. They may be hard choices, but they may not be. No, we'll see.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, would you rather have a latte or an espresso?
A latte.
Okay.
Espresso's too strong. Latte, I like the milk. So yes, I drink at least one latte a day. So latte.
Yes, they are nice. Espresso, you'll be like, I'll probably run up and down my steps 5 times.
Yes, exactly. I would not be relaxed.
No. Do you like a dog or a cat?
Wow, that's a hard one. I like both, but probably dog more than cat.
Why would you choose a dog more than the cat?
Because cats are usually more independent and they don't seem like they need your attention as much, and dogs,
Yeah.
I actually grew up like in Hawaii. I had dogs. Unfortunately, in Japan, unable to have dogs because our house was too small. But yeah, I had a couple of dogs when I was growing up in Hawaii. So yes, that's why I know dogs better too. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you with the dog.
You have one too, right? So
Yeah, yeah. They love you and they come by you and they just, they're like, and anything you do, they're like, hey, I'm
they're
here.
very enthusiastic and they
Yeah.
want to, cuddle and hug. And cats, if you try, they're like, meow.
Yeah, they're like, hey, this is not the time.
Hello, don't touch me.
Yeah, don't touch me. Spring or summer?
That's hard too. But I think because I was born and raised in Hawaii, got to go for summer because I love the sun. I love the ocean. So yeah, summer.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's probably so beautiful in Hawaii in the summertime with the sun and looks like the wind continues to blow both summer and spring versus here in the South when it's summertime, you're not getting too much wind. You're just going to get a lot of heat.
Yeah, in Hawaii, the temperature is just right all the time, pretty much. And but the funny thing is, I grew up there, but it's funny that when you live in a place, you don't take advantage of the ocean as much as you think you would. But then when you leave, you're like, I should have gone
Right.
every single day to the beach, but I didn't. So yeah.
I definitely can relate on that because I used to live by the beach and I only went a few times. And then when I moved, I was like, I could have been on the beach, like just walking. Like, why did I not do that?
I know. Now that I'm in DC, there's really, I could get to the ocean, but it's probably not as beautiful as Hawaii. So, yeah, we kind
Absolutely.
of regret not going to the ocean as much.
Okay. All vegetable entree or meat and vegetables?
That's so funny. I would say meat and vegetables. I actually was more of a pescatarian for a long time. And then I recently started to eat meat again because, I felt like my body sort of needed a little bit more protein. So I've been eating a little bit more meat. So yeah, meat and vegetables. Like you gotta enjoy life a little bit and
Yeah.
not stick to vegetables only.
Yeah, I'm on the same track with you. I did that for a little bit myself. I also did vegetables only for a little bit.
Right.
And I found that meat and vegetables was what my body needed. So I don't do too much meat now, but I eat it because I keep my health up, and it's
Yes.
been helping me.
Same here. Yeah, I don't eat as much meat all the time, but I do sometimes.
Okay, one more question. Let's see. Diet soda or regular soda?
Ah. I don't actually drink soda because I find that water quenches my thirst
Yeah.
rather than carbonated drinks. But if I had to choose, because you said I had to choose, probably regular soda because I mean, if you're gonna drink soda, might as well go for the, full on sugar.
Right. Might as well go all in.
Yeah, right? Why bother with diet soda? Come on.
Right.
Gotta live a little.
That makes sense. Well, tell us, how can your fans and those who are interested in knowing more about you, where can they find you and how can they find your music?
My music, the album To Love Again, is basically on most streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes, all of that stuff. So you can find it pretty much anywhere. And if you want to keep up with what I'm up to, my website is karunasings.com, Karuna sings.com. I'm also on basic social media like Facebook and Instagram at Karuna Shinso. So you can check any of those and see what I'm up to.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you, it has been a pleasure having you here with us tonight on Sips and Notes. And it's a pleasure because you're like my first guest back in a long time. I haven't done this in a long time. So I appreciate you so much for being here with me tonight on Sips and Notes and sharing our water.
Promoting good health.
Promoting good health.
Excellent hydration. Yeah, it's really been a pleasure for me to be with you today too. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. And again, congratulations. And I wish you the best tomorrow. I know either way, it's going to be amazing. I feel like you're going to win, but it's going to be amazing. Just having that opportunity. Hope to see pictures. I'm sure they're going to post them on the site, on the WAMMIE site. And it's going to be amazing. I know for sure. Are you performing there tomorrow too?
No, they only, the last year's winners are performing this year. I guess that's how they do it.
Okay.
Sort of like the Grammys too. I guess they do that too. So yeah, no, I'm not performing. It's last year's winners are performing. And I'm just happy to kind of, for a long time, right, with the pandemic, we haven't been out and about. So to be able to dress up and go to an award show, it's going to be fun.
It was so amazing. Well, thank you again, and congratulations for sure. Those of you all who are listening, go and check out her album To Love Again. It definitely will give you inspiration to have those feel-good moments with loving again versus just not feeling great and having your heart broken or to any extent of what sometimes heartache can bring. So definitely make sure that you go out and get her album, listen to it. It is amazing. All streaming platforms. You can even check it out on YouTube Music and Spotify. Again, my name's Treese here, Omniferous Creations, right here showing on Social Goat. So if you all want to check me out, feel free to. I hope you all have a great night and a great weekend. And thank you again, Karuna.
Good night. Thank you so much for having me. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.